Hi guys, welcome into another book review. Today we're going to talk about Bound to the Shadow Prince by Ruby Dixon. Before I go any farther, I just want to say this one does not come out till July 2nd. So you're going to have to add this one to your TBR. You're going to have to add it to your wish list. You're going to have to pre-order this one because it is not out until July 2nd. So let's go from there. You're probably thinking, I know that author's name, and if you are somebody who cannot pull up directly who this author is associated with, I'm going to give you a clue. Ice Planet Barbarians. She is the author who wrote the Ice Planet Barbarian series. And if you have, you've been on Book Talk or anything, you for sure have heard about it. I have to admit though, I actually have not gotten to read that series. I had planned to, I was going to read it, and then I decided I was going to make a book talk where I actually recorded myself. I had one prior just giving recommendations. And then I was like, I'm going to make one where I'm going to talk and review books too, besides just give out recs. And then I didn't get it read. And so now after reading this, I am so kicking myself in the butt because I'm like, oh, everybody kept saying, these are good, these are good. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure they're good. You know, I'll get to them eventually. No big deal. After reading this one, if they are anything like this little standalone, I missed out. I'm going to straight up just say I missed out, and I missed out so hard, and I'm kind of bummed. So I'm going to go back when I get a chance, and it's going to be very soon. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably going to be pretty soon. And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to just eat that series up because I am like, now I so bad want to go check it out because I just love this one. So let's go from there. It's fantasy romance. I'm going to straight up say, I'm going to be honest with you. It's fantasy romance, but it's monster smut. Let's just be honest straight from the top. It's monster smut. That's what it is. That's what it is. But it's got a lot more than that just going on. So because I didn't read the other series, I'm not 100% sure how they go. But this one has more than just a monster smut. So this one has a very complex plot line, storyline. There's a lot that goes on in this one. So I know a lot of people are going to think, oh, another one, you know, like they probably think, oh, just another monster smut. No, I'm going to say, like I said, I don't know about the other series because I hadn't gotten to read them. Like I said, I'm going to. But this one and myself, this one was so complex. Like it had so much going on that I just, like, I couldn't put it down. Like I devoured it in 2 days. And the only reason that it took me 2 days was because I had a lot of things to do yesterday and a lot of things to do the day before because my kids play sports. If I had not, and I was just like during the week, I would have devoured this in 1 day because I did not want to put this down. I was like, oh my God, it's so late at night. I don't want to put it down. But I had to put it down, had things to do. So that right there tells you it is so good. Like I just ate it up. It wasn't one that I was like, oh, I've got a deadline. I got to get this one read. No, this was one that I was like, oh, I don't want to put this down. This is so good. So I'm going to give you an overview real quick of the book without giving any spoilers. So the main characters, I'm stumbling over my words today. So the main characters, they are actually going to be locked in a tower for 7 years. They only get brought supplies once a year, and they are enemies. They hate each other. So you already know what's going to go on from that. So they're enemies and they hate each other, and they kind of got to figure out how to do their survival and live through that. And there's going to be some unforeseen events happen, and there's going to be a turn of events. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's just a lot going on this one. Obviously, you're going to have the enemies to lovers. You're going to have this smut. I'm going to say in this one, there's some adventure, like there's a lot of adventures. There's a betrayal. There is definitely, some secrets hitting, like that they're finding out. There's going to be, like I said, the turn of events. Like there's going to be a plot twist in here that you're going to be like, at least for me, I did not see that coming. I was like, that came out of left field for me. And I was like, huh, what? And it was great. It was a great plot twist. I loved it. It really put the ending together. I'm going to tell you right now, she does do happily ever afters, at least in this series as this standalone is a happily ever after. And so I know a lot of people complain. They're like, oh, I don't like it. So tired of not having happily ever afters, or it takes 10 books to get to a happily ever after. No, this one is a standalone, and it is a happily ever after. And like I said, it's spicy, super smutty, monster smut. So if you are somebody who loved Ice Planet Barbarians and you are looking, or you're just a fan of hers to begin with, because I know that she's got a huge fan base out there, then for sure I would add this one to your TBR. And whatever else, like put it on your Goodreads, do what you got to do, because this one, oh my gosh, this one was so good. Like I said, this has taken me from being like, oh, I'll get to those, I want to read those, to now I'm like, oh no, I've got to devour everything this woman has written now. Like this has taken me to where I'm like, I got to check this out. Like I'm totally into her now. Like she made a super fan, and that's just what it's going to be for me. So if you are interested in the monster smut and you are looking for a great good standalone. Then, like I said, this one comes out July 2nd. Fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I would have given it higher if I could have. I absolutely loved it, and I think you might too.